Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And the Frontier and Verizon deal that's been announced a few days ago has several different implications on the industry and everything moving forward. And a lot of people have been asking me back and forth, what do I think? And I wanted to talk about that a bit in this video. I wanted to kind of break that down a little here. So what I think, and this is just going by Verizon's history, even though they're buying the whole company, I don't think they make use of the entire asset, if that makes sense. So Verizon disclosed that 50%, a little more than 50% of the profits that Frontier makes today come from fiber. So they've overhauled and upgraded a good amount of the copper footprint. And that's the footprint that I'm confident Verizon will 100% overtake and integrate. The other, 45, 40%, whatever it is, that's not fiber, that's going to be the interesting asset to keep an eye on. I believe, this is just my opinion, I believe Verizon keeps the copper in the areas where they have really high market share on wireless, and they upgrade that copper there to fiber. They invest capital to do that so they can converge. If you have high wireless share, you send brochures, pamphlets to the neighborhoods. Hey, if you have Verizon Wireless, this is what we can offer you if you take our fiber. In areas where there's copper, where they don't have high market share on wireless, I just don't know if they keep that asset. They might just decommission and keep it moving. It's very possible. I just don't see Verizon spending capital upgrading and converting 45% of a copper footprint. I see them being very strategic on that part. Very, very, very strategic. Very, very selective. And like I said, they look at, and even though the ones that some of the markets that they have higher share in, I feel it has to be significant market share, like 35, 40% of the market captured on wireless for them to try and converge. If it's like 25, maybe 28%, I don't even know if they attempt to do it at that number. They want to be able to make sure that they can get high enough penetration to make a return on the investment, because it's going to be expensive to upgrade copper to wireless. To fiber. It's going to be expensive. Ask AT&T, they know. They've done it for a while. And there's other companies. Frontier did it across 50%, a little over 50% of their footprint. They upgraded from copper to wireless, and it's very expensive. It's not cheap. So that's just what I think, right? That's how I feel Verizon is going to move. That's how they've done it in the past. And if you go by the history of the company, you're usually spot on. So that's how I feel they're going to go about this purchase. The little over 50% of fiber, they're going to keep all of that. They're going to start working the marketing, the go-to market strategy. I feel this deal is pretty much accretive day one. They're going to take in 2.2 million customers at the close of this deal. So they're pretty much buying 2.2 million customers. That's going to affect the balance sheet. That's 2.2 million customers that are very likely going to pay more. If you compare Fios pricing to Frontier pricing, Frontier is cheaper, significantly cheaper. So there's probably going to be a price increase for those customers, just being honest. I don't know how Verizon goes about it, if they look at maybe tenure in terms of how they decide how many, how they determine, okay, this person stays on that discount. They don't have as much tenure. We're going to raise them. I don't know how they determine that. And I don't even think they disclosed that yet. And it'll probably be a while before they disclose that. But that's how I feel they're going to maneuver. It's going to be accretive day one with the plan that they might have in place. They're going to look at increasing those customers. They're going to pay more, actually quite a bit more, which is going to lead to Verizon to improve their balance sheet. It's going to be very accretive day one. I know Verizon has to work through the integration process and spend some additional capital upgrading some of the copper that they're going to keep to fiber. But Verizon, I mean, they're 20 years in. They know how to do this. It's a previous asset that they've owned. So it's not going to be that difficult for them to make that happen. Right? They have very smart engineers. They have the money to make this happen. Even if they got to spend additional capital for maybe a year or two, I think they do that. They do it to integrate, and then, you reap the benefit after the fact. And I think it's going to bring a lot of return on investment. Even AT&T is saying the fiber investment is showing more returns than they had anticipated. So they're seeing more money from the fiber play, and that's why they're kind of more engaged and prioritizing fiber more, because it's leading to better returns. Wireless is saturated for them. Same for Verizon. Verizon already has the most amount of postpaid customers. They already have the biggest perception of being the best on wireless. So just natural progression to fiber just makes a lot of sense, and I think they're going to go more aggressive in the coming years. That Verizon, that is. So we'll see what happens. Just wanted to talk about that today. I think accretive day one, 2.2 million fiber customers that are going to probably pay. A good majority of them will pay more. And I don't think they keep the entire footprint. That's just my honest thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Make sure you guys stay tuned for more. Like, share, subscribe if you're new. Follow my social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. See y'all in the next one. Peace.